I'm now quite good, but I was not that good about 2 weeks ago when I managed to tear my other calf. Yeah, obviously I was getting ready for US Open, everything was on track, return to run was going really well, and yeah, was doing like 3 by 7 minutes, so I was doing stuff in like just timed chunks, and on my second one just felt my left calf tighten. I was like, I've been here before, I know what that feels like. Stopped, and yeah, then got an MRI because I was like, I just need to know if it is something and how bad it is, and it confirmed that it was indeed a tear. Thankfully just like a grade 2, no tendon involvement, like nowhere near as tricky as the previous one, so that was kind of good news. But obviously it meant that I had to take a break from running, couldn't go out to the US Open. Thankfully it was like the day before I was about to book all my flights, so I didn't actually lose any money on stuff, which is good. But yeah, I was pretty fed up, pretty frustrated. There was like doesn't seem to be any real reason for why that happened. I feel like my previous one, I can see what I did that kind of resulted in a calf tear, especially with the then keeping running a bit, stopping, starting again. So I can kind of see especially why that then had like tendon involvement. Whereas this one, it's like I'd literally done 10 weeks of rehab, strength work, very gradual return to run. Like there should be no reason why why I tore a calf. But anyway, it happened. So yeah, I was feeling pretty frustrated, not that motivated to do anything, and just annoyed. Thankfully, it coincided with both of us being able to go and just take a bit of holiday. So I've made the decision to just have a week off, go on holiday, completely non-triathlon related. Just went to San Sebastian, had a lovely few days of eating, drinking, then went out into the Rioja countryside, and yeah, had a really good week off completely. Like literally did a little bit of walking, a little bit of e-biking, but that was it. And yeah, kind of got back and I was like, right, I'm ready to kind of get stuck back in. Like thankfully with this not being a bad calf tear, I've started a bit of a return to run already. So I'm hoping that it'll just be like 2 to 3 weeks of getting back up to like relatively normal-ish running, and then being able to get a good sort of five-ish week block in before Kona. So yeah, not the end of the world, but yeah, I just really needed a bit of a mental break away from dealing with injury. Yeah, this year just feels like a shit show, to be honest. And I think like it's really easy to kind of say it's not about the results, it's not about PTO points, it's not about this or that, but like it actually kind of is. You know, that's how I make money, that's how you view yourself, judge yourself, that's how you get sponsors, etc. Even though like my main challenge and satisfaction comes from like me getting better and seeing progress, like there is ultimately a lot of other things wrapped up in it. And I think even some of it is just there are various races I was meant to be doing that sponsors were kind of excited about, which I've now not done. And like all my sponsors have been really good, but it just gets to that point where you're like, well, if I can't actually go and race some of the big races, then I'm not really giving them anything. So yeah, I think like in my head I probably see it as a much bigger deal than most of them see it, but yeah, it feels quite frustrating to not be able to go and race when that's like the fun bit. Like a lot of training is also fun, but it is also a slog, especially in England at times. Generally this year just feels like it's been a massive write-off. It's still quite early, so like there is still loads of racing towards the back of the year, and I'm hoping that if the calves come good and I can have a decent Kona and then just keep racing for the next couple of months after to try and salvage a bit of the year. But yeah, as it stands, it's kind of one to forget. So, I mean, the main aim is Kona. If everything is going well, I might try and race a half the first weekend of September, just to kind of have done a race before Kona. And then, yeah, like post-Kona, it's always really hard to know exactly how you're going to feel, but I would definitely like to do another Ironman, most likely Cozumel, but, you know, I might feel great and be like, take me back to Israel and do that 3 weeks post-Kona. I can't see that happening, but you never know. And then maybe do something like Clash Miami at the end of the year, or see if there's another half somewhere that I can fit in. So yeah, but basically I need 3 results because I don't have any. Like Gran Canaria was so shit, it doesn't count. So yeah, I need 3 races to get a ranking at the end of the year. September, I'm not as fussed about it having to be I'm not expecting to be fully fit like I will have done 2 to 3 weeks of actual running.